Good morning. Welcome to First Parish Unitarian Universalist of Medfield. Welcome to all of you who are streaming in from home as well. This congregation first gathered in 1651, and this historic meeting house was built in 1789 on the unceded ancestral land of the Wampanoag. We'll now do our chalice lighting. Allison Galley. This is chalice lighting.
Chalice Lighting by Jacaren Olea. We light this chalice here in the darkness of winter as we wait. This temporary space is one filled with prayers to be answered, love to be given and received, miracles to be witnessed. May this light guide us until the light of the sun returns again.
Welcome to this place. Here we search for truth and understanding. We celebrate life and contemplate its mysteries. We share healing and wholeness. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we are glad you are here with us today.
And now we will sing hymn number 39, Bring, O Morn, Thy Music. Please be seated. Thank you. Welcome to Poetry Sunday. My theme for today's poetry is life is in this tiny moments. And okay, so I found this quote by Shauna Niequist. Life is a collection of a million tiny little moments and choices, like a handful of luminous pearls. Strung together, lined up through the days and the years, they make a life. It takes so much time and so much work, and those beads and moments are so small and so much less fabulous and dramatic than the movies. The Heisman Trophy winner knows this. He knows that his big moment was not when they gave him the trophy. It was the 1,000 times he went to practice instead of going back to bed. It was the miles run on rainy days, the healthy meals when a burger sounded like heaven. That big moment represented and rested on a foundation of moments that had come before it. So our first poem is going to be a little different than what the order of service is. We're going to start with poems by Fritz Fleischmann. He's reading 3 small poems by David. And when I saw how silly and wonderful these poems were, we put them here while the kids are still here.
Good morning. I met David McCord when he was in his late 80s. This was in the mid 1980s when I was running a college poetry series, and I invited him on the recommendation of my then department chair. Little did I know that David McCord was not only a Boston institution I had never heard of, but he had a national reputation as a poet for children, winning any number of awards, including the first honorary doctorate in the humanities from Harvard University, his alma mater, where he had worked for many years as director of the Harvard Fund. And what I found out, that he was also famous among Harvard alumni by writing to them fundraising letters that were so poetic, erudite, and witty that they delighted the giver. I think that's a great role model. So the first poem is called Joe. We feed the birds in winter, and outside in the snow we have a tray of many seeds for many birds of many breeds, and one gray squirrel named Joe. But Joe comes early, Joe comes late, and all the birds must stand and wait. And waiting there for Joe to go is pretty cold work in the snow. The second poem, so these are all very short. The second poem is also about a squirrel named Fred. Speaking of Joe, I should have said our flying squirrel's name is Fred. Fred is no flyer, but a glider. His skin is loose and soft as eider. But Fred himself is no softy. He likes tough trees and likes them lofty. Fred is not around much at noon, but at night and under a bright full moon. He sails from tree to tree like a circus performer, and once last summer he sailed right into the dormer window of the empty house next door. But that's Fred all over. Need I say more? The third poem is about an activity that today's children may not be familiar with, which is walking past a picket fence and taking a stick and going. Okay. So this poem is called The Pickety Fence. The pickety fence, give it a lick, it's the pickety fence. Give it a lick, it's a clickety fence. Give it a lick, it's a lickety fence. Give it a lick, give it a lick, give it a lick with a tickety stick. Pickety, 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 pick. David McCord.
Thank you, Professor Fritz. As we enter a time of meditation and reflection, allow these words to gift you a moment of silence. The words are by David White. Enough. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here. This opening to the life we have refused again and again until now. Until now. So we're going to have some more poems now, and following these 4 poems, if anybody else wants to recite a poem, yours or anybody else's, we welcome that. Our first reader will be David Russell. Say our next.
I'm sure you're all familiar with the Mustang Ranch in Nevada. It was a brothel. I had never been there myself, but you may be familiar with it. This is by X.J. Kennedy on the liquidation of the Mustang Ranch by the Internal Revenue Service. By the way, it's also a sonnet. This poor old spread, its water holes turned to dust, its paying herd, stampeded, lies here slain. On Reno's rock-shanked hills, frustrated rain refuses to descend. Spangles of rust bestride the bar, where hands no longer shake quick daiquiris to blur the fear of AIDS. Net stockings dangle hollow. Grand parades kick off no more. A hibernating snake lies not more still. Beneath the auctioneer's gavel fall crates of condoms, lingerie, the sign from the mirrored orgy chamber, fire exit. The kindly tank of oxygen whose sweet breath could that reveler inspire to flare, who might have smoldered in dismay.
Our next poem will be read by David Temple.
This is called Yawa Ursut. It's by Scott Momaday. He is a Pulitzer Prize-winning Indigenous Kiowan poet and novelist. And I believe he's at age 90. He's still on the faculty at Stanford. The title is Yawa Ursut. Yawa was an ancient Persian deity. Neither I nor Google have any idea who or what Ursut is or was. Yawa Ursut. I pray that you are kept safe throughout this day and that you live as fully as you can, that you see things you have not seen before, and that more of them are beautiful than not, more of them delightful than not. I pray that you hold easily in your hands the balance of the earth and sky, that you laugh and cry, know freedom and restraint, some joy and some sorrow, pleasure and pain, much of life and a little death. I pray that you are grateful for the gift of your being, and I pray that you celebrate your life in the proper way, with grace and humility, wonder and contentment, and the strong, deep current of your spirit's voice. I pray that you are happily in love in the dawn, and that you are more deeply in love in the dusk.
Thank you. Our next reader is Bill Lyons. He liked the quote that I had about W.H. Auden, which I don't remember what it was, and the invitation to you all. And well, you could explain it.
Yeah, the quotation from Auden that Thea had chosen in announcing the service said that poetry disintoxicates and disenchants. I like that. And this poem, which often goes by the title Lullaby, is very much a disintoxication of love. At the same time, it celebrates the theme that Thea set for today, which is valuing the moment. You will see that Auden is speaking against any faith in permanence or eternity, and is instead celebrating the utterly transitory. And so the other title by which it is known is Lay Your Sleeping Head, My Love. Lay your sleeping head, my love, human, on my faithless arm. Time and fevers burn away individual beauty from thoughtful children, and the grave proves the child ephemeral. But in my arms till the break of day, let the living creature lie, mortal, guilty, but to me, the entirely beautiful. Soul and body have no bounds to lovers as they lie upon her tolerant, enchanted slope in their ordinary swoon. Grave the vision Venus sends of supernatural sympathy, universal love and hope, while an abstract insight wakes among the glaciers and the rocks, the hermit's sensual ecstasy. Certainty, fidelity, on the stroke of midnight pass, like vibrations of a bell. And fashionable madmen raise their pedantic, boring cry, every farthing of the cost, all the dreaded cards foretell, shall be paid. But from this night, not a whisper, not a thought, not a kiss nor look be lost. Beauty, midnight, vision dies. Let the winds of dawn that blow softly round your dreaming head such a day of sweetness show, eye and knocking heart may bless. Find the mortal world enough. Noons of dryness see you fed by the involuntary powers. Nights of insult let you pass, watched by every human love.
I found this poem that I'll be reading in the anthology Good Poems for Hard Times, selected by Garrison Keller. It was published in 2005, which made me wonder, were things that bad in 2005 compared to now? That's called Afraid So by Jean Marie Beaumont, who was a contemporary American poet. Is it starting to rain? Did the check bounce? Are we out of coffee? Is this going to hurt? Could you lose your job? Will this go on my record? Was anyone injured? Is the traffic heavy? Do I have to remove my clothes? Will it leave a scar? Must you go? Will this be in the papers? Is my time up already? Will it affect my eyesight? Did all the books burn? Are you still smoking? Will I have to put him to sleep? Was the car totaled? Am I responsible for these charges? Are you contagious? Will we have to wait long? Is the runway icy? Was the gun loaded? Could this cause side effects? Do you know who betrayed you? Are we lost? Will it get any worse? I could take some poetic license and add another that would be like, will he win? Who else? Who else wants to join in the fun? Madeline. You don't have to go up the stairs.
Hello, I'm Madeline, and this is kind of a challenge for me, but I'm doing this to honor all the teachers. When I was in high school, which was over 50 years ago, we had to learn poems, and we were learning meters and things like that. And this is Thoughts from Abroad, Robert Browning. But It still goes through my head very often. Hark where the blossom pear tree on the hedge leans to the field and scatters on the clover, blossoms and dewdrops, and at the bent spray's edge, there's the wise thrush. She sings each song twice over, so that she may recapture that first fine, careless rapture. And I did it without looking.
Wonderful. Anybody else? Oh, Jeanette?
I wasn't going to read a poem. I told Thea I was just going to listen this year. But when I heard the theme, I thought of this poem I just found like 2 days ago. And thanks to the World Wide Web. And I need to read it. It's by, I need to share it. It's by someone that I'm not familiar with. Let's see. Danusha Lamiris, or Lamaris. I'm not sure how to say her name. And it's called Small Kindnesses. I've been thinking about the way, when you walk down a crowded aisle, people pull in their legs to let you by, or how strangers still say, "Bless you," when someone sneezes, a leftover from the bubonic plague. Don't die, we are saying. And sometimes when you spill lemons from your grocery bag, someone else will help you pick them up. Mostly, we don't want to harm each other. We want to be handed our cup of coffee hot and to say thank you to the person handing it, to smile at them and for them to smile back, for the waitress to call us honey when she sets down the bowl of clam chowder, and for the driver in the red pickup truck to let us pass. We have so little of each other now, so far from tribe and fire. Only these brief moments of exchange. What if they are the true dwelling of the holy, these fleeting temples we make together when we say, "Here, have my seat. Go ahead, you first. I like your hat."
Thank you. Anybody else? What? Oh, David? David? Multiple David.
This is called No Time by Billy Collins. In a rush this weekday morning, I tap the horn as I speed past the cemetery where my parents were buried side by side beneath a slab of smooth granite. Then all day I think of him rising up to give me that look of knowing disapproval while my mother calmly tells him to lie back down.
And David Russell. You have encore.
This is a poem by someone named Ono no Kamachi, who was a mid-19th century Japanese poet. And I thought of it when Thea mentioned the moments, but I really wanted to read the other one. You come to me because I dropped off to sleep tormented by love. If I had known I dreamed, I would not have awakened.
Anybody else? Okay. So now we're going to do the offertory, but first Martha Castle has a few words to say.
So it's rather appropriate that today's theme is the little things in life, because as I was asked to share with you some thoughts on why we're here in our offertory and all the great reasons why our community is what it is, I was thinking back on all the little things that I have experienced as part of this congregation and as part of this community. And it started piling up pretty quickly. I'll start by saying part of the realization of how important this church was to me came not that long ago when I had to get a renewal of my security clearance. And I was talking to the investigator, and the investigator said, "Hey, we really need to talk to somebody who sees you on like a weekly basis." And I was like, "Well, it's my kids, my wife, my in-laws." And they're like, no, come on now. There's got to be someone outside of your actual immediate family. And I thought to myself, oh my God, no, there's no one. And then I thought of Jess Raza, and I was like, yes, I do have a friend somewhere here, and it's because of this lovely church. But if you look back and realize all the things that the church has given our family, it's quite impressive. Tobin, our 13-year-old, has been coming to RE since he was in kindergarten. He and my daughter Noble come up here routinely, had their first performances up here, have all of their great public speaking. You heard some of that here today. I have a chronic health condition, and many of you helped get us through one of my surgeries, and I try to return the favor when I personally can. We have coffee hour together. We get to learn so much about each other. We get to come up here and share our joys and sorrows. I mean, what other community can you do that? And so for those reasons, we ask that you continue to give of your time, of your energy, continue this legacy that is this community so that there are other little Marthas that can come into our community and be part of it. So.
We'll now sing hymn 55, Dark of Winter. Stand as you're able. Please be seated. Thank you. Cooperation for Human Creativity by Denise Cawley. Love of our earth, take action to consume less, use less energy, respect water, and be cooperative, collaborative, and create community like the moss and the mushrooms. Our children's lives depend upon it. I will now extinguish the chalice. May its light and warmth stay in our hearts until we meet again. Here ends our worship. May our service be